The Purge at the top. China's military under siege. The second best military on Earth. What is happening in China's military isn't small, it is seismic. Here's the thing. China's leader, Xi Jinping, has waged an anti-corruption campaign across the country. Politicians, state companies, government ministries. Nobody was untouched. But the most dramatic front is happening inside the People's Liberation Army, known as PLA. Listen, on January 26, 2026, Beijing announced that General Zhang Yuxia, one of the highest-ranking officers in the military, is under probe. They also announced the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission is under investigation, both for serious violations of discipline and law. You see, Zhang wasn't just any general. He was seen as one of Xi's closest allies, a veteran with real combat experience and decades of influence. And there's more. Alongside Zhang, General Liu Zhenli, who is Chief of Staff of the PLA Joint Staff Department, is also being probed. Think about it. These are the people at the top of the military's chain of command. The ones who plan strategy, manage logistics, and oversee forces. When they're pulled into investigations, that sends shockwaves. Now, here's the history behind this latest fiasco. These purges didn't start in January 2026. It has been going on for a few years. Dozens of top commanders have been removed, dismissed, or expelled. Names you should know. He Weidong, former vice chairman of the Central Military Commission and one of the most powerful generals, expelled last year. Miao Hu, former director of the CMC's Political Work Department, also dismissed. Li Shangfu and Wei Feng, two former defense ministers, purged in previous rounds. Multiple commanders from the elite rocket force and other major units were also removed as part of corruption probes. And here, it gets even more interesting. The PLA elite rocket force, which is responsible for China's nuclear arsenal, saw some of its top leaders disappear from public view years ago. So, what's going on? Honestly, Xi Jinping's focus isn't just on corruption. It's also on loyalty. The party, above all things, demands loyalty to the central leadership. Not to a faction, not to a clique, and especially not to a rival power center within the military. And this matters because loyalty fractures can threaten authority at the very top. What happens when the generals you trusted are suddenly accused of betraying the leadership? You get uncertainty, you get fear, you get silence, and that's the problem. Because a military looking over its shoulder isn't fully focused on defense or strategy. It's focused on self-preservation. Taiwan and other neighbors are watching closely. Taiwan's defense officials have said these unusual leadership changes are being monitored carefully, though they stress their readiness remains high. This isn't just elite infighting. This could ripple outward. It could affect regional strategy. It could change calculations in Beijing and beyond. If you think about it, this purge could shape the PLA future for years to come. And that's the difference between a military purge and a political purge. A political purge reshapes how a country governs. A military purge reshapes how a country fights or doesn't. She now personally controls almost every branch of the military. Very few senior figures remain with real authority. And more have changed. The narrative used to be anti-corruption. Now it is loyalty, influence, and control. That's why the fall of Zhang Yuxia and Liu Zhenli is more than a headline. It's a symbol of a fundamental shift in how China's military is governed. And with the way things are unfolding, this purge may not be the last. Because if even generals this powerful can be purged and dismissed, then loyalty above all else is the new commandment.